So this is going to be a review, another comic review for another comic that was sent to me by my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, I know you're watching this. Thank you again for this comic. And we're going to be doing an indie book. We're going to do a very, very indie book by the name of Old Haunts. This is by Rob Williams and Ollie Masters. This comic, I had no idea what it was about. I really didn't. I had zero idea of what I was getting into exactly with this comic. I was told that it's kind of like a horror crime story, and it's gotten a lot of high praise. You can see from the front, it's got praise from Garth Ennis and Brian K. Vaughan. It's also got a lot of hype behind it for a lot of writers and artists throughout the industry. This comic is supposed to be 5 issues. Like, from what I understand, it is a 5-issue book, but if you just get this, also, it's dirt cheap, too. Like, this comic is really just really cheap. It is $10. It is literally buying, like, a volume 1 of a Image book. But this is not Image, this is Upshot, which Chris gave me several Upshot books, and they all have very prominent writers on each of them. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what is Old Haunts about? Like, what is this comic about? Old Haunts is a comic that essentially what it is 3 mobsters who have grown up, who have they've lived the life. They want to get out. Like, they've all lived the life, and they just want to retire. But the thing is that the past doesn't want them to retire. Like, it just does not want them to. It doesn't want to let go, in more ways than one. Yeah, this is a this is a supernatural crime story. If you like, I'm just gonna say this, that if you have read if you've seen Sopranos, here you go. This is literally Sopranos with ghosts. That's the best way to describe it. It's really like the Sopranos with a supernatural twist. All 3 characters, Alex, Donnie, and I'm forgetting the last guy's name. But the 3 of them are old friends who have grown up in the mafia together and are ready to get out, and this supernatural entity is following them. The problem with there is a few problems with this book. While I did like it, it is really short. This is supposed to be a 5-issue miniseries. It all comes together like as a graphic novel. There's no issue 1. Now we've moved on to issue 2. Nope, it's all one big graphic novel, and it reads like one. Also, I read this fast, like really damn fast. I think I read this in a span of 2 hours, like 2 hours tops, maybe even less than that. Not to say that's bad, and yeah, it's only $10, so you're definitely getting your money's worth. And I think this is supposed to be just a one and done mini-series for the most part. But Old Haunts is literally it's a really violent comic. All three friends are very different. They all have their own little feel to them. The artwork also is very much it's very Punisher Max. The artwork is very Punisher Max, which I do think the artist Lawrence Campbell and Lee Ruage, I think they both did Max books, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but for the most part, this comic is. They profusely use the word. They profusely say "fuck" a lot in this book. It's almost like a Rob Zombie movie. I swear to God. It's straight. It's almost like that level of the word "fuck," and it's pretty funny. It's almost to an absurd level. The other thing is that they don't really explain the supernatural entity that's following them. It does look like straight up Khonshu. I will say it looks exactly like Khonshu, but it's got the silver coins for the ferryman, which they do say one of the people, Alex Primo, one of the 3 of the people in here, gives to people, but they never say why he gives them the coins for the ferryman. Obviously referring to the old Greek story of leave coins on the eyes of the dead, so they have something to pay Charon to ferry them across the Sea of the Dead. I mean the River Styx, of course. They don't explain that. They also don't explain why the entity is following them. I was kind of hoping for that. I know it's like a unknown element to all of this, but it felt really awkward, and it does kind of feel like they don't there's no rhyme or reason for it. Like, why now? Like, they don't give any explanation for it other than, here it is. Like, it's a supernatural entity following them around. We don't know why. We don't know if it was summoned. We don't know any of that. And honestly, like, the story could have... The ghosts in these stories do nothing. Like, there's some creepy imagery, but really, they do jack all for the story itself. Like, this literally could have been a crime drama story, and you take out the ghosts, nothing would change. Like, if you took out the supernatural entities, nothing would change with this story. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad book, but I just feel like it's, like, I was kind of hoping for a supernatural, like, horror story, and what I got was, it's 3 guys who are trying to get out of the business, and there's some ghosts. Maybe, maybe not. That's what we're boiled down to. All in all, it's not a bad book. Like I said, it's $10, so you do get your money's worth for this. I'd like to thank Chris for sending me this comic. Chris, thank you once again. I wanted to do this book because I was curious about it, and it was also like a fast read. So right after I'd finished it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a review on it. So this was probably the quickest read, because like I said, I got it done in an hour today. So I was like, all right, I want to do a review on this comic. So there you go, guys. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this comic review. I am Mr. Multiverse. If you haven't already, hit the link below. Head on over to Patreon. Check out some exclusive content over there. Other than that, I'll see you once more in the multiverse.